Hello, welcome to the Doggy Style Podcast. Join me, Al Berg, and my dog Lola on our adventures through Long Island and New York City. I'll be discussing all sorts of topics that you won't hear anywhere else. Okay, maybe you will. I talk about key principles of success, happiness, and we know we want happiness, persuasion, dogs, my life, some secrets, and many other interesting topics. Come on in. Put your seat back, kick off them shoes. Well, not if you're driving, of course. Take a deep breath, relax, get rid of that stress, and enjoy the ride. Hello, everybody. This is Al Berg, and this is the Doggy Style Podcast, episode 65. I'm on 34th Street today, and I'm not feeling great. I had a colonoscopy yesterday, and still feel like I'm recovering from the anesthesia. So I was thinking about not coming in. It's also going to be a very hot day in New York today, as I'm approaching Broadway right now. So instead of walking on the High Line, I'm on 34th Street. And crossing 34th Street with not a lot of time left. I just see somebody wearing my company shirt. And speaking of my company, I want to talk about my company, but I don't want to talk about it because it's been a little depressing. And why talk about things that depress me? And when I say depressing, I don't mean in a can't get out of bed way, more of an anger way, out of control feeling. But if I want, I can get much more control by just leaving, which has its risks. Yeah, so I'm heading towards Fifth Avenue right now, looking up at the Empire State Building. I'll take a quick picture of it. Yeah, so I don't have much today. Just going to go through my book today, Key Principles for Success, which is available on Amazon under 33 Key Principles for Success. Principle 1168, and again, the number is just to remind myself when I go through this where I got it from and what to update. No business plan. So I've started a lot of what I thought were businesses without a business plan. None of them have been successful. So will a business plan get me success? Maybe, maybe not. But the key thing I think here is that what if you do something that doesn't bring you success and there's something that might, it is certainly worth a try. Now, why have I not done a business plan? I guess probably subconsciously my ideas aren't good enough. So it's kind of feels, maybe it would just feel like a waste of time. I'm passing Amazon Books right now, which is the, take a picture too. There's an Amazon bookstore. I have a lot of the books that are in the in the window. It's interesting. It's interesting having a store. It's on 34th Street between 5th Avenue and 6th. And I guess what I'm going to do today, I was just going to take a leisurely stroll. Um, I wasn't going to walk this morning because I packed water but forgot it. And I could definitely use some water today. What I'm thinking is maybe I'll just do half the walk that I would normally do. So instead of doing an hour, maybe I'll do like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I'm crossing 5th Avenue now. And there's a place called VR World on 34th Street and 5th Avenue. It's probably worth checking out in terms of whether it's fun or not. I get the feeling it's not going to be open long. Just a feeling. Not sure if that's a correct feeling. Homeless guy just passed. Okay, so yeah, so no business plan. Now, will a business plan make you successful? It might not. I would just think that the odds of a successful business are very low. So will just a business plan make you successful? Probably not. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do one. If the key, I think for me is my favorite saying, could be my favorite saying, is Fud Wud Ugwug. If you do what you've done, you get what you got. So if I haven't been successful doing stuff without a business plan, and I keep doing it that way, then it's unlikely I'm going to be successful with a business. So, what is a business plan? There's a couple interesting things I like. Guy Kawasaki's, which I have a chapter on, which he says to do a 10, 20, 30 presentation. And you would have 10 slides, 20 minutes, and 30-point font. And I just thought it's a catchy idea. But what goes into a business plan? I mean, I'll try to think of what's important. I guess marketing is important. Probably marketing seems to be the most important thing out of any business. How are you going to market your idea or service? If you don't get the marketing right, you basically have nothing. Because if you have a great product and no one's using it, then you have nothing. It's very difficult. I would think that there must be a lot of great products out there that people don't make money on. And what we see is the cream of the crop is the right term, but we see the top finalists out of all the things that failed. Okay, so I'm hitting Park Avenue. I'm going to start heading up. I don't have water. Next one is 314. Don't take a dog's bone away. As I pass Mendy's, a famous place famously known for the soup episode on Seinfeld. Yeah, so don't take a dog's bone away. Basically what that means is dogs are very protective of their bones, and you're likely to get bitten if you do. So you want to figure out if you're trying to take a bone away from somebody who might react like a dog would. And there's a lot of cases, and I think this fits into Charlie Munger, who was Warren Buffett's sidekick. He has his idea of super deprival reactive syndrome. which means when you take things away, that people react can react in a very hostile manner. Wait. So just in general, just be careful if you're taking something of value away from somebody who wants it. And this works in almost all situations. What is the value? And what are you taking away? Why are you taking away? What is not the value to you, but the value to that person? Um, I'm not sure why wrote this one down, but under KDP Select, get 5 days of free promotion every 90 days. So it sounds like you could pay for something. KDP is Kindle Desktop Publishing, so somehow you can get your books promoted, I guess. Yeah, I'm seeing. I wrote a book, and and even tweets and everything. It seems like you need people to get the ball rolling. You got to find that in any way to get those first couple of tweets, which I have a feeling people must game. In other words, that because people are very unlikely. This is persuasion to like something if nobody else has liked it. And I'd be willing to bet that on one hand, there's people that just like authors. Oh, there's people that like authors or bloggers, and they follow closely what they're saying, and whenever they say something, they'll like it or retweet it. So it's interesting to look at these things, to study it a little bit, see what gets retweeted, what gets liked, what gets comments. So maybe you have to say something very, well, it's worth just looking into it. Next one is number 570 is document. And basically that means, for me, it was the way I documented my stuff. So in terms of document, if you document your code well, your process well, then you can get other people to do it. But on the downside, if you do it well, you can get laid off because you're not needed. So there's a fine line between documenting and setting something up so that you can, setting something up so that you can't. Something. He's a homeless guy talking, who's making me lose my train of thought. So there's a fine line between documenting and giving away your IP or your intellectual property. So if you're rewarded for documenting, then by all means do it. And if you're not, then be careful of it. Next one I have is Excel and SQL books. And it's really was not a key principle, it's more of a note to myself. Yeah, so that was nothing. But from my own point of view, I could write a book on Excel and I could write a book on SQL. So 139th Street, I probably should start heading back west, only because I don't want to really walk. I get the feeling Broadway is going to be very hot. These side streets are a little bit better. Next one I have is determination. So, if I was really determined, um, if I was really determined with an idea I had, I would finish it, and I would be most likely successful, or at least I would die trying. I mean, I think that's what determination is that you just don't give up or you die trying. So if you're determined to do anything in this life, you have to focus on it. So focus is a key to determination. You have to keep trying. You got to get other people involved. You have to be excited about it. You have to be motivated. So if you're motivated by something you're going for, then you're more likely to get it. If you're not motivated by it, it's going to be hard. But it is a key. So my determination to get a new job is very low. I'm not sure why. Probably because of the fear. I'm not sure. I would say fear. Fear of new situations, fear of going on interviews, um, fear of rejection, fear of having to work harder than I do now. I mean, when you have a existing job, you don't work as hard. Your habits get you through. You don't have to do any real hard work in terms of non-habitual tasks. Okay, next one. I'll pause from reading it because I am crossing the street. And I guess I could say that this rule is pay attention, that you want to pay attention to what you're doing, especially in a dangerous situation. Anytime you do step into the street, if you're not paying attention, you're liable to get, asshole, just got cut off by somebody. Um, Another rule is don't cut people off. So if somebody's walking straight, don't walk in front of them and make them stop. Let them pass you and then go behind them. I mean, this is not such a hard rule. Okay, have daily goals and see if you're heading towards them. In your, it says you, XX50 break. So I kind of like this idea where you have daily goals, and during those daily goals, what you do is you make sure that every hour that you're heading towards them, in other words, so every hour I'm supposed to be standing. So during that break, I should look at what's my daily goals for today. Am I on track to achieve them? Which means you have to do a daily goal in the morning. So, and the daily goals should align with your monthly, yearly, and lifetime goals. So you have to know these things and be able to make sure there's an alignment. And again, this stand-up alarm gives you the ability to check every. I was going to run across the street, but the traffic just picked up. I don't know why that car came to a stop. I was trying to cross Fifth Avenue and the car just came to a stop. Okay. This was not a bad way to walk. I mean, I'm going to get in pretty early, but not as sweaty as usual. And I get to walk through Bryant Park, which is a nice park. So the next one I have So I like that one. That's going to be my key principle for the day. Thinking about goals, uh, maybe year, month, week, and then identifying hourly if I'm on target for that. So the next one I have is I have the words no help, solo, why fail. So it is important to identify if you've failed in the past, what the particular reason was for it. And if you could identify that reason, it's less likely to happen again in theory. So the more you know about yourself and what where your success comes from, then you'll, in theory, do better in the future. So let me see. Let me take one. I don't know if I want to think about the most recent failure as I head through Bryant Park. I'm not sure why I don't juggle more. I guess recently I've avoided juggling because I try to not work too many hours. I try to get out at 5. So if I work from 12 to 1, if I juggle from 12 to 1, I lose an hour of work and then, in theory, have to work an hour longer. So, but it's very nice here. I'm in Bryant Park. Take a picture of the park. There's a grass area in the middle that's closed right now. And I just remembered something that I might want to start doing this whole podcast via a video. So I take a video and then maybe get what's called a gimbal so it's a little bit more stable, and then also use the stabilization of a newer camera, and then I would have some interesting footage and then be talking during the interesting footage than just sound. I don't know if people like the sound so much. Yeah, so I'm going to Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. The 4 rules I try to live by are: number 1, life is short and goes by extremely fast. 2, if you do what you've done, you get what you've got. 3, step outside your comfort zone. 4, there is only now, so live in the present. Please subscribe and like this video because it helps me and hopefully helps you. Please leave a comment, as I'd love to hear from you. You can follow me on Twitter and Periscope at Alec Berg. To get more information, check out t2do.com. That's 4 characters. The letter T as in Tom, the number 2, D-O, that's t2do.com. See you until next time.